Oh, okay. Now it says waiting for Tyler Edlin again.
All
So now
right.
we're here.
So this is. All right. I gotta probably move this
Mm-hmm.
aside.
Let's see. Oh, okay. We're on. We're on.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
It's a miracle.
Whoa.
Does it
Okay.
say? Okay, so oh god,
Yeah,
of
it's
course
just showing the part where you're moving the
my
little
headset
monitor. Now we see your Photoshop
my
stuff.
headset is running out of batteries. Hey, how you doing? You're the first one here. My first stream ever.
Hey.
So is this
Yay.
like 100% just working now and it's all good?
Yeah, I think so. I can hear me too, I think.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome to the
Hello.
stream.
It's my production
Chronicle.
assistant, Sin.
Hi. Yes.
All
My
right.
name is Sin, the art of sin, with an underscore at the end. Um
I'm gonna
Hi.
I'll drop a link on Facebook to this now that it seems to be working.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi Ramik. Hi Efren. Efren,
I'm
sorry.
I'm so
Hi
glad
Spoon.
that the
I like
Facebook
to see
page
you.
is are fixed now and I get followers there again.
Woo! Hi
It was
JP. Hi
broke for like
Nerds.
3 years. All right, let me.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, I had grown it to like 10,000 followers in like 2012 ish, and then it stayed there till like now, and now I'm like maybe it gathered another 1,000 over like 6 years, like randomly from. But like yeah, they Facebook was doing everything it can to like hide the post and information unless you paid, so that's fixed, and I'm getting more back to organic growth because I'm not paying Facebook for anything. No, I'm stuck on your
Yeah.
Oculus ecosystem and stuff.
Well, now they're on Meta. They're not even
Yeah,
Facebook anymore. So,
meta streaming.
hey Ed, welcome. So today it's kind of like our first little test stream. We're just
Yeah,
gonna be watching Tyler demo some stuff. He has this really cool
yeah. We have like
banter.
no structure to this kind of planned out. I do
Yeah,
want to do giveaways, and I want to. You guys can ask me anything about anything whatsoever, like one of those ask me anything. But yeah, I have stuff
yeah,
on screen. If it comes to just me entertaining, I'll do my best. Just some personal work.
yeah. And if you guys have any questions, yeah, I'll read them out to Tyler. Oh, Tyler, your border is like slightly off from your video
All right, I'll
camera.
I'll sort that out.
Yeah, you can just probably click and drag that border to align with your camera.
I gotta. Oh, do you have the? Where do I even get this? The chat stream? Is it under?
There should be like a little
That's what
live
I.
chat on Streamlabs, I think.
I think I have to
Last
go to.
time.
I have to go to the YouTube page. Well,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
yeah, here it is. Share. Here we go. I'm learning. I'm almost a modern artist. Almost.
We're
I
getting
gotta.
there.
Oh, do you have the? Where do I even get this? God, I just watched myself 10 seconds in the past. All right.
Uh,
How's
mid.
everybody's Black Friday doing so far?
Mine's going great. Midler said, "Congrats on your 100K
Thank
subs."
you. Thank you. All right. What do I have to fix now? Is it the? Am I? You said
Little.
some borders or something was out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your red border, if you check your Streamlabs, is like slightly um
Oh.
offset. Yeah, you just slide that up.
Do you know
Yeah.
how? Is it under
Yeah,
the?
just click and drag. Just click and drag the red border. Oh,
Oh, that's separate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really easy.
No. No. Okay. I
Oh,
found. This is. Watch this, guys. This is what I'm dealing with. I have.
well,
See,
okay. In
there's
the
like a
layers,
lot. There's a lot of things.
in the webcam folder under sources,
Yeah.
you can open up that folder,
Okay.
and then there's a webcam PNG thing that you can move.
Oh, okay. So
So
that.
I'll select that, and you can.
Ah. See, that's why I need technical help for everything, guys. I'm really that impaired. I didn't have a computer growing up. And I'm still
Woo!
catching up. I'm still catching up. All right. So I think that should look better. I'll probably tuck that up in the. It seems like, is this true for on you guys that the Photoshop screen is largely cut off?
Uh,
Like it's only displaying the top left of my
yeah,
monitor?
ish. I'm not sure why that is
Yeah,
exactly.
I can
Hold
see
on.
like this is right, this is where I have to zoom out. This is the last technical thing and then it should work. I think it's where is it? That's the display capture.
Right.
All right, it's on the
So
right
you just want
thing.
to display your entire monitor, or just Photoshop as a window?
Maybe I just do Photoshop as a window.
Yeah, because then you're just gonna want to add a window capture, and then choose the Photoshop document name as your
Are you sure
window.
you want to remove display capture? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna just fix that because I. It seems like make more sense. Window capture, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, window capture, add source, and then it's not telling me. It's not. Oh, it's not asking what specific window.
It should when you double click it.
Okay,
Here,
here it is.
yay,
Window.
window, and then there'll be a lot of Photoshop nulls, but
But
you want to choose
yeah,
the one
can
that
I
says your
just do
document.
the main Photoshop?
Yeah, do your If you scroll down, there should be like a Photoshop. There's like a bunch of nulls, but you're gonna choose the one that has your document name in it.
Okay, I think I could just do all of the main Photoshop window, which should include the windows that are displayed on it, right? It
Hopefully,
says
yeah.
Photoshop.
Uh,
Does that show
yeah.
anything?
Hold on. I'm
Done.
just
It just, oh, does it just show no image?
uh I'm catching up to you on stream. There's like some latency, so we're just waiting on that.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's derpy. I'll go to
Oh no, it doesn't show anything. Yeah, I would just choose one that I would choose your main
I'll go back.
whatever you're gonna be painting on.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably jump between a bunch of stuff. So what I'll do is remove the window capture and just do the screen and try to resize it. And that is, sorry guys, I did literally first time ever doing this.
Kroplovsky said click on the Photoshop in the Streamlabs window. You can change the size of it by clicking on those white boxes. Oh, yeah, you probably add a bunch of window captures, and I know you had multiple Photoshop windows up, so you can probably
I probably have like 30. All right, display capture though.
yeah, we're gonna try just play
If it gets
capture.
the
Yeah, screen
this
cap works best, said Ira, with Photoshop. Thanks everyone for the
tips, tips on a
yeah for the tips and helping
and
us.
now see I can just minimize this. I think see and put it in there. See it'll now fit all of Photoshop. That's all I had to do, and we'll put that behind the webcam. So now it should
Yeah.
be good and normal, right?
Yes,
All right, guys. Does anyone
I hope so.
have any questions? I'm super thankful to be here today, and I hope everyone's having a great week. And
Mhm.
I want to do because I might in case I forget later. I want to do a giveaway right now for. Is anyone here that wants to get my composition course that perhaps hasn't seen it yet? I want to find a way to give it away at like random to someone that wants to watch it that has it. And that's the one with the 6 hours on like technical and expressive stuff.
Ooh, yes. So when maybe about halfway through the stream, whenever Tyler takes a break, we'll have a little code, and I'll put everyone in a randomizer, and we'll see who gets this
And
cool
yeah,
station.
the other thing I want to do too is through the same thing. I'll get the contact info or whoever. I'll do like pick three of you for like a portfolio review if you want that as well. And basically, the fastest and most convenient way I could do that on my end is how I do kind of like the feedbacks that come through the Patreon. Is like I'll get all your info. You send me links to your work. Send me questions and your goals, like questions specifically about your work and what goals you have for it, and then I'll give a video feedback with the portfolio review and give you the link on that after, because then that way I don't have to worry about scheduling meetings and sessions and stuff. I can bundle it all up hopefully next week and get those back to you guys that are also here as well. So that's some of the giveaway stuff I definitely want to do for you guys. And yeah, so this is some work. I started put this together the other day. We've been kind of picking at this in the the architecture course this term at CGMA. This is raw 3D that right out of Blender as of like 15 minutes ago is rendering all morning. I don't know why. It took forever, but it's been an idea I just been picking at. Yeah, so yeah, guys can see this is how it started. This is where it was a day ago, and then I put this stuff together to get it a little bit better. Just hopefully paint over a bit today. But yeah, I did. This is like a rough of a different scene that's on the main bridge there. The goal, I just wanted to do a nice kind of frozen alien sort of citadel thing, something a little more sci-fi. I've been I've been itching for one, so I got that there. So I have the building design, here, which was fun. I just kind of wrapped that up really quickly. So I got to apply a lot of these elements and stuff to this. It's actually not present at all in the actual 3D. And then yeah, little bits of the bridges design and stuff I've been just kind of working at during classes and stuff. So yeah, feel free to just ask away in the chat if you guys have any industry questions, any questions about the work at any time. I want to be here to answer that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna probably run my mouth like I do in a normal class session, and yeah, I need to get interrupted sometimes. It's a good thing. Otherwise, forget. Yeah, so I'll show you some other stuff, work in progress that I had going on with this. Like right, this I think started when I was playing with the sculpt. Right, of this guy did. So where is it? So I turned him into a statue, which is in the other scene here. You can kind of see him at the feet. We made him gold, just to kind of play with stuff. And because I've been obsessed with the PS5 game Returnal this year, I absolutely love it. Which is like super dark sci-fi. It's kind of like Metroid, but not being Metroid. The new Metroid that did came out on the Switch is also really good. So I've been just in the sci-fi vibes lately. So I started building all these little pieces to it. And this kind of all derived too indirectly from. There was another scene. If I labeled my files, I'd know. Is this or the other one? Let me see. Okay, yeah. See, this is like
We
an old test.
do have a question. Well, first, Colin said, "Hey Tyler, just 5 minutes that you're killing it." But we do have a question from Lapin saying, "Hi Tyler, I was wondering if you know how should I structure an email with sending my portfolio in for a art job application. What else do I need to do besides sending my portfolio, website, and resume?" I think they're kind
I
of looking for like some polite verbiage to sound professional and not too pushy.
Yeah, yeah, pushy's a thing. I get people emailing me all the time like that's kind of like a little pushy, but I'd say just general universal politeness. Am I looking at the camera? I forget what is the angle here. Okay, will go a long way. Like that's all. Like, hi, brief introduction. I'm so and so. This is what I do. This is what I'm into. This is how I could help you guys. Here's my work. Thank you for your time evaluating it. 1 to 2 sentences max, and have the work. Ultimately, like the less we probably say as artists, probably for the better, because that's like a whole other thing. You got to be able to talk, of course, but just let the work do most of the speaking, and just tell them what you're showing up for. And I think it just short and sweet. Because yeah, sometimes anybody gets like a wall of email, and this isn't true to people hiring, but this is anybody, right? Nobody wants to read a wall of text, so just keep it short and polite. Those are the two big things. Um, and just yeah, because like the resume and the work will say anything else it needs to. So yeah, just have it try to feel natural in what you're saying, and just like the basic introductory of hey, I'm Tyler. I love creating environments and cool epic sci-fi stuff or whatever you want to. I wouldn't write that. It's easier to type it out, and I feel like I could help you guys work on your I feel like I'd help this project out. I think I could deliver a lot of awesome. You could specifically like say like, hey, I think I could really add some awesome key art pieces to this, or I think I could really help flesh out the designs on your project. You could get, but again, I wouldn't go out of your way to that unless it kind of you can word it in fairly naturally. Otherwise, yeah, just keep it short. Was there another question that or another part of that I did miss?
No, I think you got it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm also like that's just how I would do it if I were applying for a job and some of the stuff that I've seen. But yeah, I haven't applied for a job in a while, luckily. But I'm thinking like nowadays that's probably exactly how I would do it. Just really nice and concise and genuine, right? Genuine. Oh yeah, here's the first test I did on this idea, where I had like all these ideas. So this is like, I guess the idea that I'm working on here, and here's like a supersized version. So they're kind of like all the same thing in a sense, same color scheme, same kind of mood. But I'm just kind of changing up the parameters and just having fun. So this is what a typical personal project will look like for me, or stuff that I just do to, entertain
Whoa.
the patrons month to month, just giving them some content to kind of chew on. But that's a little bit of the back
Uh,
end. What's going on with these? Oh,
oh, this is a great question from BRD. Shout out to you.
hi guys.
As a father of two and a very busy man outside of art,
Yeah, I feel
um,
that.
how do you balance a heavy workload since you do have so many projects going on and
I
you're in your own
yeah
studio too? How
yeah.
do you balance work life and personal work? Like,
It's
you're
never
doing this.
balanced. It's never balanced. And I did take off when my second son, my first son, but second kid was born last year. I took a year off, over a year off, maybe it was a year and a half from all professional work, and the last one I had did it didn't end great because like I was super not so confident about all that time management. I was telling the guys, look, I got a new baby here. This isn't like I'm gonna do my best, but I came off really not so confident about that, and they could kind of sense that, and like I think I did like one sketch for them, and they're like, no, we're gonna go with something a little safer, and and that was that. I just kind of like it had nothing to do with the work, but it was kind of like my mentality and attitude toward it all. So I was like, yeah, if I can't be all committed to some client work like this, I'm just not going to do it. And so that's why, right, it was about that time I started the Patreon and just did that, just did the CGMA, just did the mentorships and stuff. But that was more than enough to pay for things. So it's like, okay, I'm just not going to do the client work, which made things easier time management wise, obviously. But then, yeah, this year, I think it was June, I said, F it. I'm gonna, because I turned down a couple good opportunities that came through, probably for the best because I wasn't mentally ready to handle them, obviously. But yeah, I turned some stuff down. I finally got sick of that, doing that, and I was like, I got to get back on the horse. So then I started with Epic Games and some other big studios, and basically I've been learning a lot of business stuff on YouTube. Of course, I go learn as much business stuff as I can on, and the biggest epiphany I had was like I could delegate work, and that's when the studio stuff started, or the Brushsoft studio stuff, where I'm just hiring all former students that work very competently to do all the heavy lifting, and I just direct them. So it turns out, yeah, I like that even better than doing the work myself, because that frees me up mentally, creatively for um, making my own stuff like this, and I just get to kind of monitor a bunch of little projects going on, which is fun. So basically I had to get myself out of the work to start working on the work as a whole, essentially. But it allowed me to create more opportunities, because if I was sitting there doing all the client work that came in, and I think I did that with Epic Games for like the first 5 or 6 weeks, I did like all the work. I was like, okay, I was feeling good about it. They were feeling good about it. Then I brought on one of my students, I think that just wrapped up on CGMA, Tyler Bourne. Absolutely killed it. And I was like, I want you on this project, and he's been doing like most of the work on that ever since. And I occasionally just jump in and help facilitate that. And then okay, so I'm doing a lot of the epic work now with him, and then more opportunities come in, and it's just like, okay, I just find more, build up the roster, because like now I have the time and the resources to essentially kind of slowly expand like that. So yeah, it just becomes a management thing, and like I'm constantly riding that line where it's like maybe it's like this is probably at the cusp of too much, but I put the best 5 to 6 hours into work a day that I can, because I get my kids all day normally. Like right now, it's like during the week I usually have them from like noon to like 7 at night. So I get like some mornings and then evenings. But if it makes me really efficient, like when I sit down, I have it all planned out in my head. I know what's going to do, and again I have 2 to 3 people working for me, so they're getting work done for me as well when I'm not working. and then I got a guy or two that works evenings. One guy, the 3D guy, that, Isaiah, he works overnight for me. He gets me a nice fresh 3D model in the morning. So it's just kind of keeping that wheel turning, just giving little things nudges and pushes, then without trying to go broke, to turn just a slight bit of profit on top of that. Because again, the teaching's still paying for everything, and if I could just, all I'm getting is like a little bit of pocket change again from all these other jobs on top of that. Because I'm learning. I've only been doing business management studio stuff now for 6 months, and I'm trying to get better and bigger projects, and I'm trying to let go of a lot of the smaller ones that we were doing at first, like one-offs and things, and to get more money in the studio pot to help the business grow. And again, that's why you see the slight change in the stuff on like Instagram and stuff. Got a graphic designer to help with all that, the social media posts. So I'm just like, it never stops. I'm not learning as much art right now. I wanted to learn 3D Coat a couple months ago, just hadn't had the time. It is what it is. But I'm learning a lot more in terms of management in business to help things kind of grow. And I've been liking it. But yeah, usually busy, but I do get enough time for some PlayStation or Halo in at the end of every night. I make sure I got to keep the mental sanity. The gym, I haven't been back to the gym though in a while. I do miss that. So hopefully in the near future, to keep yourself physically and mentally active. That's a huge big part of that. And I got a bottle of whiskey and a cigar once or twice a week. That really helps release the steam and the pressure too. So yeah, we all have our vices. I should say. So, but that's my little hacks. Having people do the work for me, and then essentially just making sure I balance work and play enough. And yeah, because I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. I take all afternoon to play with my kids, and so I mentally recharge myself for evenings and whatever else kind of happens. And I work a little bit every day. I don't have a clean day off ever because I don't work a full 8 hours a day. I just don't have it. So it always trickles in. Like again today, a little bit tomorrow. I'll do some work Sunday, but it might only be like an hour or two. But yeah, it's hard to get a very kind of flat out day. Like yesterday, Thanksgiving. That's the only day I did. Uh, you guys have any other questions?
Yeah, there's plenty coming in.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna try
could
to choose
take the
the
most
most.
interesting ones or ones that you think would be good.
Yeah.
I could just start playing with this too.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm curious about this one too. Milblurt asked, "What is the average amount of work does a freelancer get? Like, do they get work where it spends months, weeks, days? Like, or how many projects you on at once? When are like the lulls during the year for you? When are like peaks?
Yeah, that's it. That's a
And
great.
how sustainable is it for you?
Well, I
Like,
didn't.
especially
Yeah, earlier on, I didn't think it was that sustainable, and because I had lost a couple jobs just to like downsizing the 2010 stuff, things are shaky, but I think eventually, because I lost a job or so, that's when I started YouTube, and then eventually started teaching. So like yeah, freelance is always inconsistent, and you need to either get enough ahead to kind of cover you in case there's slow months, or you need to be really good at managing money and stuff so that if you don't have any income for a month, you're gonna keep the lights on. That stuff is good, but because it usually, I don't want to say, like sometimes you just don't get much, right, or any for like weeks even, and then you'll get like last week I get like 4 or 5 jobs in them and all at once, and I was like, maybe it's the time of year. I don't know, but they just kept on coming. I'm like, why now? Like, oh gosh, it's just way too many. So end up having to turn a lot of stuff down. But yeah, I think there's enough of the work out there for sure. It's just a matter of taking what you like. It's just like, I guess, the scope of the work, right? So Epic generally renew, they're contract based. A lot of bigger studios are contract based. They'll just renew me up. They'll start really small when they're trying, when they're kind of putting you on a trial. It might be like a month, but now they're renewing mine, I think, in like 4 month intervals. So I'm good with them until, what is it, like October? No, not October. The end, like February 1st, I think. So with that, then we'll see again, because it's safe on their end too, because like they could say like, well, if I don't like your work, then they could just like, what, thank you, we've had a good run, we're good, we're gonna tap out, right? So yeah, it comes in like the work I did on Kenna 2 was like that, where they'll just get you for like a couple months or weeks, something kind of like that, where it's a unit of time, and then on the unit of time they'll cap you off at X amount of like billable hours or days within that, so they won't go over their budget, which is good. So then, yeah, if you're working for them at maximum kind of throttle and stuff, then yeah, sure, you could take it on, and you'll know, okay, I'm giving them 20 hours a week, I'm giving these guys 20 hours a week, and you can kind of manage it a little more like that. But sometimes like this other project I'm on now, it's really cool Japanese RPG, which is my favorite stuff. Like I would pass up, I'd pass up the high fancy stuff, like I guess like the Naughty Dog games, or like something really like I just love working at like Japanese role playing games. Like that is why I'm doing the stuff that I do, because how much I used to play them growing up. But yeah, like this is like, it's purely deliverable based. So they just have us, like I told them what we could provide them like every month. So it's like we'll design out 3 areas a month. You'll get X amount of work with that. So it's purely just based by almost the amount of images I kind of have set up to give to them. And then we're just kind of going through it like that. So it's a little different. And Kenna was like that too back in the day too, where it's like they should just give me a big list of things they wanted me to make for them. Here, we need 25 farm props. We need a door sliding puzzle here. We need ideas for, these different contraptions. Like, okay. And then I just go through every day and draw it and then produce it. So, it's more itemized that way. And that was the most specific. And then you have more general, where it's, right, where it's just like, hey, we have, like, literally this week, they're like, we want a seaside water town. And it, and it should have a lighthouse in it and have some ancient ruins. Not going to be hard for me because I've done a lot of that, but fun stuff. But like, that's all. They weren't any more specific about that. And whereas something like Fortnite, they're really organized. They're really great to work with on Epic, but they're like, yeah, we need a gun turret that looks like this, that feels like this, that's this big by this big. It's like, okay, and you get on it. Very specific. So the range, right? The range jobs fluctuate exponentially.
That was awesome. Thanks for answering. I know people are asking about like general questions, like whether you do portfolio reviews and your waiting time. But make sure you guys check out brushsoftsacademy.com as well as Tyler's Patreon. That's where a lot of the more general questions are answered, including wait times and all that stuff, and what specific services Tyler offers.
Yeah, I'm trying to get I'm trying to do a business series too that will go beyond the Facebook, the YouTube one, which is unfortunately really underperforming for what I was hoping for. But yeah, that the one with pricing, which everyone that watched it apparently really liked it. Just for whatever reason, YouTube isn't giving it the boost in the algorithm. So I don't know, maybe it was the title or the thumbnail, but yeah, it's not doing as well as I thought. But again, that stuff is so specific. Probably it's better for, I don't know, maybe a different audience or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's the business side of art that's not really talked about a whole bunch. I know it's like the most useful information,
Yep.
but not everybody has the attention span or the patience to like.
And I knew it was like going into it. It's like, this is gonna be dry. It's just it's hard. It's hard to get around that. But I mean, that's what they didn't really teach me for for jack shit in art school and stuff. Is like how to just like operate as a business. Because right, we have to. It was a great little. I think I saved it on my phone for an idea for future content this week. But it's like, yeah, as a creator, a lot of us, unless we're getting right into the studio environment, right, and we're just going off like a regular day job, individual or independent artists, freelancers, we have to wear like a million caps. Like, you got to be your marketer, you got to be your sales rep, you got to be your producer, you got to be your own, you got to be the artist, you got to like everything. You got to wear every cap, in the business. And that's why it's so tough. And art school doesn't train all of that. But I think most artists don't practice that enough, as much as they should be anyway. And I think it's like to educate, because art school and anything like that is not going to teach you on that. So it's on us to either seek it out but kind of to learn and train on that, because I mean, yeah, that's sorry, I'm terrible at talking and painting. Apparently, that's why I'm just doing this so slow. I'm trying to focus on the questions, but this is what it is here. I'm just playing with some colors and ideas. But yeah, it's so important because only like a fraction of us end up probably working like full time in a studio gig anyway, and a lot of us do freelance, and a lot of us do become the independent artists where we just kind of totally facilitate our own thing, and that nothing can really ever help that 100% except for just the experience of kind of doing it. But yeah, like it should be talked about more, and it should be explored because it's very difficult to do that when with no, if people don't know how to price their work, or people don't know like the business anything, right? You have to learn through the trial and error, or just actually seek it out because it's so important. I'm trying to see like what happens if we add water to this. That's where I am at. Did I miss anything else?
No, I think you got it. Yeah, I think yeah, the business side is just tough. I mean, it's something I'm really interested in, but I understand that's not like the most interesting thing for
Yeah, because
everybody.
everyone's like, how do I draw better heads? How do I improve my anatomy? How about my
Yeah.
colors? And there's so many good channels about all of that. And you could get a really good
Hmm.
education entirely for free off YouTube with that stuff. But it's like, yeah, also though, don't forget to like let the world know you exist, and build up um build up your reputation, build up your online presence, because that matters more than a lot of us want it to, but it does. Um, so yeah, it's just one of those things that we a lot of us have to kind of jump in and just embrace it, because it's an uphill battle if we don't, or we neglect it.
Yeah, I'd say like as much as I'd love to have a like as as good as a portfolio as the next person, I feel like I would also really like to learn to be professional. I feel like that's like a really underrated skill. I feel like a
Mm,
lot of artists like are never really taught like how do you write emails, which is like a great question by the way. Or
yeah.
like a lot of people like don't know how to like set up or navigate like LinkedIn all that well, or like how to make
It's
connections
me. That's me. I'm, t-
or you know
I'm
like
Antonio Stepart's got the LinkedIn figured out. The way I see the numbers he pulls over there, he's got it worked.
oh really.
Yeah, I gotta spend more time on that site. You think I would have when my Instagram went down and I was away from that for like 3 weeks, but yeah, I gotta get on LinkedIn. I get like there's some things that happen on LinkedIn, so it's good.
Yeah, tons of eyes on LinkedIn. Like that's where a lot of the production, like you might not get like the most amount of artists
Mm-hmm.
eyes on there, but you do get a lot of production managers, a lot of line producers, um, at least in animation
Right.
or art directors too.
Because
So
there's people on
like,
all the platforms, and that's what's
mhm,
crazy about it. Because you never know who's gonna see what,
mhm.
and like the titmouse opportunity came through Instagram of all places, and that's after my account was hacked, and I have like a fraction of the followers, so it's like someone found it. Um, the Epic Games work came through ArtStation. I'd say most of them kind of come through ArtStation nowadays for me personally. And I don't think anything ever came through Facebook, but yeah, the recruiters are out there on all the platforms, and they're like, I had to have Sin verify like the person's message on Instagram, because I thought it was like a joke. He's like, this guy says he works for Titmouse. Can you go stalk him on LinkedIn to see if it verifies? And he's like, yeah, it checked out, but I was really shocked. I was like, okay, they didn't send me a professional email. They didn't try to even. Yeah, it was weird, but it
Yeah,
happened.
like never know where your jobs might come from.
Never know.
Crazy.
You never know. You always gonna be ready.
Yeah. Ernesto, I totally agree that like online presence is like super overwhelming, but I think like at the end of the day, I wouldn't think about it as like, oh, I need to be professional, I need to do this to like get a job or blah 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 blah.
Nope.
I think a healthier way to look at it is like, oh, I just want to share my work because
Yeah,
like isn't yeah, it's just
part of the
like we're in
game.
the business, yeah, of inspiring others. So
Yeah, it definitely helps. Because yeah, I'll even see people. I see some really nice people too online on Facebook. I'll see a typical post, like a couple once or twice a week. Maybe someone has a good rant on Facebook about getting turned down for a couple jobs and stuff. And then you go to look at his the work, and they're like, yeah, you can see why, but they're giving me good feedback, and but like I see other really experienced professionals jumping in on opportunities like that too, that are just really kind and be like, yeah, look, not to kick you while you're down, but like, yeah, your work, you got to work on this and this, and you can get like essentially a real great free feedback, when it comes from the right person. But you don't have to be somebody that's super well known, right, to really get that or anything. It just kind of naturally, like, if the right person sees it, the right person sees it. So that's always really good. Just adding some like grassy patches into this. That's what I'm thinking. And then I got to bring some water. Oh, this is all wrong.
Yeah, really nice.
I gotta. This is what I gotta do. My building. This is my short version. I got my guy modifying this now, but it's too. Oh god, I'm just gonna hide all those layers. This is my trick. I copy paste it all up top. Now I can take it like that, bring it back up, turn all this nonsense. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do water. Do you think going like with like kind of like a frozen water up top will look good, or just going with snow? I'm totally like open because I haven't thought that far ahead with this. But yeah, I could go,
Maybe
maybe a couple.
some type of frost. Yeah, I'm not sure if snow would like. I mean, maybe snow, but I could definitely see frost like on
I could
part of
do.
the
Yeah, I
ground or
could
something.
toss some icebergs up there. I think is what I'll need to do. Back in
Yeah.
the, back into the VR, sculpt out some icebergs. See,
Ooh.
this should be like that tall.
Yeah. Somebody asked, or Endeavor asked, how can I be better at architecture? And I'd like to just plug that before I took Tyler Edlin's courses on CGMA, I
Yep.
wasn't really that good at architecture. But I gotta say that, like, um, definitely recommend checking out his Patreon and
This
his
is.
courses via
I'll break
CGMA,
this
because that's
down.
where I learned most of my stuff.
I'll break this one down for you. But basically, even it's alien or fantasy, you can find everything you need often enough, just combining right different aspects of reality. I'm trying to find the notes on this. Oh my gosh, too many. It's called direction. Here it is. So this whole design. Did I already have this open? I might have this open because oh my goodness, where'd it go? Oh boy. Oh, there it is. Direction. Ah, this is the direction file. I was looking right at it. I had all the answers right hidden underneath me. So, right, essentially, this design kind of started out by combining. Um, this? I can't think of the name. It's right a part of Asia. It kind of almost even looks from India though, but I think it's more Asian. And combining that with like a little bit of just call it like African heritage architecture. It looked cool as a spire. It looked megalithic, so I went with it. And then you toss dinosaurs in because dinosaurs never go out of style. And again, this is for in class. We were like starting out like, okay, we take three references unrelated. Let's start on this stuff. This first step, right? Really safe. Doesn't really do anything different than any of those. And then like, okay, what if I push this 5%? On this one, okay, let's do a little bit more of rounded features. Now let's push this a little more to get the dinosaur features into it on iteration 3. Like, okay, that looks good, but it doesn't look powerful enough. All right, let's get this one really kind of playing up that shape, but the same thing, and then going all the way to the max. So it's like there's like a creative dial in the design on the design board, right? And it's just slowly kind of ratcheting that thing up. And but it all kind of just stemmed from like those three references. There's been other more specific ones, like if I needed them, right? Something kind of like this, right? I don't know. I guess I don't turn that on, right? So like, see some of this stuff where it's like I look at specific patterns, maybe that door design, maybe how these are all kind of combined. But yeah, it's just constantly stealing from Pinterest and Google, from different parts of the globe, different parts of our own history, and
Mhm.
combining them in a cool way, so it doesn't look so like 200% made up. Because we don't want it to look too made up because it'll just be unrelatable and too alien, which isn't fun.
Mhm.
But that's
Yeah.
like the basic, like the formula. You just got to combine some different things. I think I had a different. No, yeah, that was it
Yeah.
for that. Oh, here's
Uh,
another example.
yeah. LMZ had a really good question, I think, and an interesting term. LMZ asks, what kind of work to develop for the first ever portfolio when one doesn't have a whole body of work to choose from? A bit of everything, characters, props, environments, vehicles, and sci-fi fantasy. Before you answer, Tyler, I'd like to put in my 2 cents if possible.
Go for it. I'll take a sip of my drink.
Yeah, so you can like work your painting a little bit if you'd like.
Take it.
Um, yeah. I think first ever portfolio is interesting because I feel like while a portfolio is a collection of our most curated and best work, I
Hmm.
just feel like it's always evolving as well. I feel like there's never like this is my first portfolio, this is my second, this is my third. Like I feel like portfolios slowly evolve over time, just like your body of work does. And for if you don't really have a whole body of work to choose from, I would just like make more work and see what you're really interested in. It's not about like what's going to get you work. It's about like what you would like to work on because eventually you're going to be able to work on that stuff. Like I would never put characters in my portfolio because I would never want to do characters. I want to do environment. And
Yeah, it depends what type of right. Is it illustration? Is it for concept? Do you know like what type of body
uh,
of work you'd like to be hireable with?
mhm. Yeah, like personally, I like to do more concept design, more production art than like keyframe illustration. But
Just
yeah,
make small projects like I'm doing here. Probably smaller scope than this. There was a great example from what's the name? I had him open on ArtStation the other day. Let me go grab him. But like just a very small in terms of like scalable project to train. Like this is for design, like design
mhm.
based. Because like this, like what the scope that I have here, as it's not good for students because it's a bit probably too big and too grand. Like you want to go simpler, and show what that you know how things work, and so here, yeah, Ian, it was Ian. Let me see, I got him right here. Great portfolio example for someone again that doesn't like you don't need a mastery of painting because painting, coloring, and light is probably the hardest thing to do, but like look at this project here for example. Like this is such like if you had a project that mimicked what is going on in his 7-Eleven van here, like you'd be for concept design you could probably get hired anywhere you almost want to. And then if you repeat this, right, you repeat this idea, this project, at least two more times for three projects of just different subject matters, different history and stuff, like you'd be really good. So see, like this is literally a traveling merchant that's like a 7-Eleven truck, but like look how much care and thought has been put into how everything works and functions, and it's very clearly presented and it's very consistent. Because again, like from the few times that I parted ways with my clients, it's not necessarily about the quality of work, but it's how consistent you are, how safe of a bet you are. They want someone that they will just know, or a client will just know exactly what they're going to get from you. You might not be the most talented person in the group, but like if you're consistent, right, and you're well presented, like yeah, if you just show up every day, that's a huge part of it. Um, so yeah, the work doesn't have to be perfect, but if you just show and break things down, that you have an understanding of something or you're willing to learn on a job, right? Because that's what a lot of it is. It's like it's not so much technical art skills, but it's your ability to problem solve. Like you have to just learn to solve a different problem at every step of the way. And I think Ian's work here reflects that. Look at this. I mean, he just thought of all the different ways to combine the idea of a mobile 7-Eleven truck. And most of it's just drawing, right? And this is the basic skill like everybody starts with is drawing at some comprehensible level so that somebody can look at it and understand what your drawing is, right? Like it's
Mhm.
not too crazy. This is flat colors on top of the drawing. So you don't have to know color and light. You don't need a thesis in it or mastery. Flat colors, which is basic
That's
form.
very encouraging to hear for someone who
Yeah.
never paints.
Look at basic form shading. Look at, so you get the clean drawing, whether you want to draw it out like this, old school, which, 2 to 3 different layers in Procreate, Photoshop, or the other, I forget the other one that's really popular. But you just need clean line art, essentially, any way you get there. Blender is a real popular way these days. That's what I've been doing, is just use Blender to generate the line art, and then you just color it in, though. And you just do that with flat. So, right, this is, truck is green, right, has orange accents, things like that. And then you could choose whether or not to even shade it from there. But it's a really good way to do the work. He has a couple of these examples too. You can kind of see some really cool breakdowns of this stuff. So you have a small body of work, but the body of work he has, like, I'd hire this guy if he was looking for a job. It's because he shows, like, he very consistently he could solve design problems, and he kind of thinks just enough outside the box that it's like, oh yeah, he's got creative solutions to potential problems, right? So that's what's really good. Look at that, all the little breakdowns in there. Yeah, just think about like how you can make yourself or position yourself, leverage yourself so that you can solve problems for a client, and you could do it consistently. So take the whole technical skill of it out of the equation, and right, that put the service cap on. You're going to be a service member to, like, okay, how can I please and satisfy and meet the needs of such and such a company? And that's a great way. Whereas, see, like, this is like, this is impossible to measure whether this is good or whether this is bad, whether this works or doesn't, because I'm making all this shit up. Like, it's alien stuff. It's out there, but it can look cool, but it's also doesn't. I wouldn't, if this is all I had in a portfolio, I wouldn't hire me, because it's like, okay, you have one cool idea that looks decent, but it's like, what else is really going on under there? So stuff like that. But I mean, if you do have at least one of these kind of projects, just do what I'm doing too. Don't just aim to do the final image. Break it down, like I did the building here. I have breakdowns of everything, so you can at least, explain in a production process how you got there. Because then I was like, okay, yeah, look, this person did put a lot of thought into it. I have some placeholders of that stuff. It's coming. I have some like work in progress sheets that look like that. See stuff like this where you're just breaking down all the designs and all the pieces for it. Yeah, I didn't really do much on those. I was just trying to lay out a page. But again, that's another thing. Spend as much time laying and presenting the work out as you're doing on the work itself, because you can upsell your ideas. You could upsell your own designs if it has a nice presentation to it. Like, don't just slap a bunch of things together. So see, like here, on this work in progress, I'm like, okay, put a title here, put some material spheres over here to explain what they're made of, put my little logo over here. And so I'm just trying to go through enough of these. I'll probably add a little bit of a subtle background design behind the pictures that's darker. So just trying to make everything look, as nice as possible. It's a great way to upsell your value. You can have an average idea and upsell it, whereas you have a really good idea but poorly presented, it's going to hurt that idea. And then some orange. Anything else coming in, Sid? That was a great question, though.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of like little offshoot questions based off the ones we had.
Perfect.
Other than that, just like chatter, I think. Let me
I love
scan
chatter.
the chat again. Yeah.
Guys, I got a new office chair too on Black Friday. I ordered it last night, so no longer in any videos. So however you guys digest them, I should get rid of the old squeaker here, giving me back problems. Good riddance.
No, I totally agree.
Old staple chair.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
But I try to like,
We
if
did
you.
get Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, we just got a similar question. Sorry, by Laszlo. Sorry, I can't pronounce names that well, but
I'm bad at names.
It's like an offshoot question off the work-life balance, but how do you like prevent overworking? But I guess you don't really overwork these days.
Yeah, I could take on more clients than I could probably handle, but because I have to do so much fathering and stuff, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not like, overworking. Just keep it 10 hours, like, or 8 hours. Like, don't work more than that a day. Go out, right? Live a balanced life. Get get an hour. Every adult should for daily exercise. Read a
Mhm.
book and learn, because like right, if you're just working on the work, you're just working on the technical side of it, but cut into that your daily time. Like, okay, I'm going to do this to work on learning some aspect of social media that I can leverage in the future to, like I can learn marketing or brand strategy, or maybe I need to learn about, but keep enough bandwidth in your energy system to improve yourself, right, and your worth in other ways besides the art. Don't just become, right, one of those workhouses that you can draw the best looking character in town, but you're like internally falling apart and maybe your place is disheveled. Like you don't want to end up in that sort of
Yeah.
category either. There'll be a little bit of
Yeah.
balance in there.
Yeah. The more you take care of yourself, the more productive you'll be when you're just
Yep.
working 8 hours a day. Because 14 hours a day, I feel
No,
like
I
a lot of
don't.
it is just
Yeah,
idle time,
yeah.
staring at the wall,
I don't
being
recommend.
burned.
Yeah, I don't recommend that to anybody. Like, focus goes a long way too. Like, if you have a schedule and you got a priority list and you just sit down and do it, which is what I've had to do now because I only work 5 hours a day, give or take. I just know what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, and it becomes just a system of like execution. Like, you just I rattle right through. No time idling, ever.
Hmm.
I always, and of course, when I lose files and can't find stuff, I go crazy. But um, yeah, I think it's just like becoming your own efficient machine, and knowing yourself, of course, helps with that quite a lot. Now you can subtly balance more. Like I couldn't do what I'm doing now, like even a year ago, but I had to, I just working on just the balancing family, without the work in, and then like, okay, how much work can I get away? And yeah, it doesn't have it, but it doesn't go without its troubles. Like, sometimes you could have a blowout with a spouse or family member of like, hey, you gotta spend more attention, not on your phone, answering students' messages when you're supposed to be watching the kids and stuff. Or so like, it happens. But yeah, it's just it's always trying to like improve it subtly and get a better system down.
Yeah. Brendan asks, great question by the way, Laszlo. Thank you for submitting. Brendan asks, I was wondering if you can give any tips for increasing drawing and painting speed. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I can produce some fairly good final images, but they take me 40 to 80 plus hours.
That's where I was in 2010 or 11 when I started, right? Like if you guys click on the older stuff, or the oldest stuff I'm willing to share on on ArtStation anyway, right? Like I was in the same boat where it was like 25 hours would be the minimum, right, for something like this or this or this. Like the old work I had, this, but like they would reach up to 40 hours easily, I think. Um, but it, I never actively sat there and tried to force myself faster. It's just going to happen over time without you even thinking of it, because you'll be able to break things down in your mind in either a simpler way, or you'll have a system, you'll do enough environments or enough characters. It's like you could go through a process, you'll find systems through experience to just get it done more efficiently without, like, it's not about, right, like working like physically faster, don't do that, but it's like, okay, can I get this done with like 10 brush strokes compared to like 1,000, so it's like making bigger moves for higher impact, a less is more approach, and then you could fill in, the details wherever necessary. But yeah, that's what I was a long lesson to learn, right? Just slowing down and not like, don't treat it like one of those blitzed time lapse paintings, speed paints on YouTube, where it's a professional that's been working for 10 years and they just make a time lapse to make it look even better. Um, and that could be hugely dangerous to, a budding or a student artist that thinks like that's kind of how it is or what it works, or even that the person just started there. But I think just going slower and thinking extra long about every move you're going to do, why you're going to do it, and then plan the next one.
Mhm.
Literally just slow the hell down.
Huh. Kind of related, Leah. Thank you, by the way, Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
But Leah had like another like related question. Like, how do you keep it from getting so messy. They're a writer and an artist, and they usually start their projects pretty well, but then there's something they want to change, and then they adjust the art, and then they go back to the story, and then they just ping pong around, and then it takes too long, and they start getting unmotivated to finish the project. So, like, how do you
Yeah, you
keep
gotta
the project
you gotta
organized on
have the
track?
goals like for what you want to do, right? I had a sheet where I think it's this. It was on some environment notes that kind of like was the prelude to what came out on Instagram the other day. But like I gave a person a forest project a couple weeks ago, and it outlined kind of like this, where it's like just outline specific. Like forest is too generic, right? It's too vague. And if you just really specify what you want out of it at every stage, then it'll be clearer for yourself and what you need to do. So, right, like the mood and the art direction, the big pieces, you need to put those in stone and solve them first, right? Anything from art direction to like how it should look and feel. And then you could figure out a little more specifically like the design language, like the forms and the shapes. And then of course, like, okay, this is the idea, but what do I really want to emphasize? What's this focal point going to be in a picture? And then what am I trying to say ultimately with that focal point, right? Which is the message and the intent behind the piece. So you can always break things down as the goals is like, the compass through getting any size or any style of body of work to help keep you on track. But I wouldn't, sometimes you could start messy and I like to make a mess of things too and sort it out at the end. Otherwise it can be like if you just start out clean in the beginning and keep it clean, you can maintain it. But see, that's kind of like this is very messy, but it's like a placeholder sketch for the time being. And then this is kind of the same, but I'm doing it a little cleaner. I'm trying to, so if like I use clean shapes or maintain them all the way through, that I don't have to go back and clean it up at the end. But sometimes it can be fun just to work a little quicker, a little looser, and then take a step back, come back in, and then clean it up. Which again, your tools and how you use the tools, the technique will determine like, okay, how clean do you want something, or how in focus do you want it, right? Like we were doing that on your piece last week, and remember we like. I actually sent out a really tight drawing, and I spent a half an hour messing it up, kind of just hazing and softening parts of it. Like, let's just really keep this super tight, sharp, and in focus. We'll de-emphasize this to emphasize this, right? So it becomes like a balancing act.
Yeah. Manic said, hello, I hope you're doing well.
I
Congratulations
am.
on 100K.
Thank you. Look, slow and steady, right, guys? Oh my God. Started that in like 2000. I watched people come and far shoot higher, but I'm a super inconsistent. I get that. I don't have the best on-screen personality, but I hopefully give you some good content. Slowly get up there.
It's like Feng Zhu. It's like the
Yep.
once in a 2 year drop, and then
But what he
it
drops is
disappears.
so good. And then like maybe if my head kind of exploded a bit more at the beginning of every episode, like Mark Brunette's, like that could work a little. Get you on the editing. See if you can figure out how to make my head blow up. A good nod to Mark. Great
Yeah,
guy.
Mark and Adam, I feel like make me like question my life every time I watch a video. It's like this is why you procrastinate, because you're fearful of failure. I'm like, dang, okay, like
Adam is
I'm
so wise.
yeah, so wise. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy my 9 a.m. coffee. I'm having a midlife crisis over here, or quarter life, I guess.
And I know I'm not quite as bubbly and entertaining as Ross draws there. What an enjoyable little fella to watch, right?
I know he's just like a
Just
little. He's like a ball of
but
energy.
some people are just made to entertain like that, and he does a great job with it. So
Yeah. Yeah, Mark with 30 explosions in the vid. I love it. Says PS.
all right, someday,
Yeah.
guys, we'll get me with an exploding head. If we figure out a tutorial, we can use Envato to get a special effect template. Make
Oh, yeah.
well, right when you do a video edit, it just surprise me. Don't even tell me. Just like I'm gonna make his head blow up, and he ain't gonna know it. And then I'll see it come back in the comments. Oh shit! There we go.
Or like in the short, just like have your head.
Yeah, the, the shorts. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm just having some.
Afrin asked a while ago. Sorry, Afrin, I didn't even get to it till now. Um, how to select color as they get confused. I'm guessing like just some like how are you approaching picking colors for this piece, or like how do you envisioned it.
Blue and orange are complementary, and that's all. I'm just like going really right. Ice is blue, and I'm like, how could I really do something that's not blue? And seeing how much of a this is like really overcast. It's like soft lighting here, but like at the end, I might dial it up in part of it to see if I could like really hit some beam of light on that. But yeah, I'm just blue and orange. They work well because they're at the opposite end of the color wheel, and there's no other rhyme or reason to it. Beyond that, might do. Like I said, I was gonna see if I always like mock an idea up like kind of quickly like this, like or if I want to do icebergs, I might go back into if I do like a final pass at this. Again, this is I do these kind of really quick mock-ups to see if I like it. If I like it, then I might go invest more time on the 3D and making it look a little better. Sometimes if there's time, but yeah, I like I think that icebergs and water could be fun, or having parts where water is coming frozen frozenly down over the ice. Yeah, I try to think of fun um, little themes with this.
Mhm.
And I go back and forth between rough, ugly drawings and sketches, between 3D and then 2D and then VR. I just go all over the place. It's really it keeps the work fun and engaging too.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, Labin is back again with another. Oh, thank you by the
Awesome.
way, for the question. But Labin asked, red flags when looking at job applications. I heard there's some guidelines to follow to not be exploited, but they're not so sure what they are.
Uh, yeah, I don't that that's hard to get into without getting like unless there's like super specific right equation or parameters on a job. But
Yeah.
it's not, if you know what you're worth and they end up offering you something more than that, that's always great. But I'd say minimum like you gotta have like your baseline, your bottom dollar, what you're willing to work for, what you're not,
Mhm.
and just make sure you get that. Otherwise, if the company is unknown, like if you've never heard of them, if your mom or your friends have never heard of them, mom probably has never heard of them, right? That and they're let's say they're an unknown quantity to you or the community. Make sure you get like half up front. Negotiate to get half up front. That way you'll prevent yourself from getting stiffed.
Yeah.
But like big studio like Epic comes to you or something, or Sony, whatever. Like, yeah, there you kind of go with their terms, and you do it or you don't do it, and they'll put you through all they got like departments and things for everything you got to kind of do. Um, it's a bit of a process, but yeah, the big companies will have their own contracts for you to sign. So it might be a little worrisome if they don't give you anything to sign, if they don't give you an SOW, if they don't give you an NDA. It's like, well, what are they doing? Like it
Yeah.
it some basic business things that are fairly standard. If they don't do them, it might be fishy.
Mhm. Make sure they like they shouldn't be asking for your address or like
No.
obviously you're not your social security number or like your like bank information either. Like just be careful, protect your info.
Yes.
Um, mhm. Like most they should be asking you is like your legal name and your email to sign that
Yeah.
NDA, but that's about it.
I I've never had any. Luckily, in terms of that stuff, I've never had anything too unfortunate kind of happen like
Mhm.
that. But yeah, like get if you don't know them, just like look and just tell them that like I don't know who you are. This is our first time working together. I just want half up front,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
or
and
at
if they go
least
fishing, like stay on a call so you make sure they're a real person. You know.
stalk them, see if they have like a company or website. Like just
Mhm.
feel
Yep,
feel it out,
LinkedIn.
feel it out a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to turn stuff down if you don't trust it. 'Cause then you could just spend the time or the energy working on something for yourself and make the best of it, which is always great. I love these hard brushes. Scribble, scribble, scribble. You guys feeling the icebergs in this? I'm like they're easy to remove, but it's like I think it adds a visual texture to it that's kind of fun.
Mhm.
I had to chop. I did that initially back at the beginning where I just kind of lost some of the top because it was just adding nothing to the piece. But
No, I think this is great. I think it adds more context
I've
and
been
like describes the plane of the
yeah,
water.
guys, I've been loving the VR lately. That thing is a blast. If I ever do another stream, I just get in the VR and make some nonsense. It's so much fun,
Hmm.
and it's changed how how I work a lot. It's so cool. Like that, this whole building came from the close up anyway. That came from a VR I did one night, and I think it only took start to finish. Oh, maybe an hour or two max. Um, but I'm not good at modeling. I'm not good at that sort of aspect of 3D. Like I had the idea, but yeah, getting it in 3D that is representation like really rough. Like this is what I did in class. I did a rough drawing of it, kind of feel it out, and then I got right in though. Like I wouldn't. There's enough complexity in there in Blender. I would not have known how to do it. And yeah, the VR makes it so fun and easy.
Yeah.
What
Um.
other pieces am I
Oh
missing?
man, I was just about to say something and totally blanked. um. The PS asks, what do you intend those yellow planes to be
These
in
are
the?
like this is like a again coming back to the other one, and this is why I was like I love the idea of like having some nice yellow grass that kind of get exposed out into
Oh.
like the blues. So like ultimately, yeah, they would be like nice softer grass patches in the midst of all this, and I'm it's just a matter of time now where I want to add a little bit more. Like I have these big fragmented cracks. I think they're kind of ice now. I don't know if I was going to have them be ice, but yeah, basically they will be really massive. And I was thinking, see, because I think of layer, and this is another tip is like I try to have multi-dimensional ideas where it's like again like Ian's truck, right? It's not just a truck, it's not just a 7-Eleven, but it's like this whole utility mobile unit of it, right? It's a compounded idea. And that's what I'm trying to do with this, even if it's fantasy or sci-fi. I'm trying to compound the idea so that it's multi-layered in a sense that like yeah like I love it the idea of just you just can't have that citadel there. I gotta stick the citadel in this frozen thing. I'm taking different aspects of our history and culture to build it to put it together, and then I'm adding all these other little set dressing things on the top as just like different flavors to make hopefully the idea right a little tastier. And so little things like if I have these fragmented cracks, or like, what if this used to be a dried up desert area, and then there's some kind of heat source in here that makes this, a little bit more lush, and with these cool alien foliages and stuff. And then I'll add like little gardens, or like I want to add like little settlements, which I was toying the idea of trying to mess with that in the 3D, but given I ran out of time today and last night because it was Thanksgiving. But I was thinking like scale wise, this thing is massive. But like this could be like little farms, or like there could be some old little settlements that kind of do like agriculture into like these soil settled. You got to think of some plot reason that like soil and some kind of nutrient based thing can settle into these little fragmented areas, and then you could build see nonsense story element around that to make a very cool idea. So these would just be like little buildings, and maybe there'd be like one or two families per side, per shard, whatever these are. So yeah, see, half of it's literally bullshit. Half of it is like it looks cool, and I guess if there's anything else, it's like, can I weave this into a more reasonable narrative based structure at the end? It's like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's fun to just work with right with personal projects, really, really nice and chaotically like that. I just try to bring some water in there. Yeah, but that's my fragmentedness of the mind at full force right there. It doesn't make sense all the time. It's okay. What about you guys? You guys like fantasy or sci-fi more? I like sci-fi more, but I paint way more fantasy. That's my thing. I don't know why. It just
I like fantasy. I just feel like, or I don't know. I think drawing wise, I prefer fantasy mainly because I just don't have a lot of experience consuming nor drawing sci-fi, and I just feel like I don't know where
hmm
to approach that, like how to approach that shape language or style or anything.
Yeah, I did that too. That's why this year I'm like, this is gonna be my sci-fi year, personal work. So I'm trying to give it my best,
Yeah,
doing
it's
like
just like what
alien
kind of
sculpts and shit. Yeah, it's fun though, right?
yeah, like organic sci-fi. I didn't even know organic sci-fi was like a thing until like very recently.
Yeah.
Um, I always thought it was just Halo or like that.
Oh, yeah. Halo on
Very
Steam, free to play. That's been getting me. Whew, that
I
is
see you on
that's.
Discord playing Halo Infinite.
I didn't even know it tells people I do that. Oh God, everyone's gonna find me out. Like, oh, this guy isn't working. He says he's got no time for this. I'm playing Halo. Is what happened. It's too good.
Everybody, I heard it's really good. Yeah.
Have a couple drinks and play some Halo. That erases the daily stresses really quick, unless you get really angry in a match, like when I was a kid.
People are voting for fantasy a bit more.
Yeah, I think that fantasy is a little more
Yeah,
relatable.
tiny bit.
I'm gonna have to fix the
Here's
these.
a controversial topic: is Overwatch a fantasy game or a sci-fi game? Or
Probably,
one of
I'd
these
say
two?
probably was I. I've only played it one. I played one round total in my life. I think it was. I think it was more sci-fi, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think there's also
It's
some
like
settings where there's like
Big
barely
Hero
any
Six.
sci-fi. And it's just
Yeah, you're right. That game's got great art direction.
yeah, I really liked Overwatch. I feel like it's like great happy middle ground.
I love bright and happy middle stuff.
Mhm.
I gotta make this ice look better.
Oh, oh yes, it's 11:09. I meant to say this at 11, but I think it's a good time to do our little giveaway. So I don't know what you want to give away first: the portfolio review or the
Yeah, let's do
um.
let's do those three before it gets any later. And I look at the clock and be like, shit, I gotta go. My kids are on the way home. I got them out of the
Yeah.
house, guys. I got them out of the house for this, and that's why I don't do these more because like there's just never enough time. But in the future, when both my kids are at school age, I want to do these certainly more regularly.
Yeah. Um. So how are we? So for the portfolio reviews, do you want people to drop their
Yeah, if
just
the,
their
if
code?
you yeah if let's pick a keyword that they can just put it in, right? That'd be the easiest for you to gather,
Right.
and
Gotcha.
then we'll randomize it, and then they can basically email me at Tyler at TylerIslandArt.com. The three winners will just email me their link to their work and their questions and everything else in there, and I'll do my best to get that. I'm still a little. I got a couple Patreon feedbacks I got to do later, but yeah, that'll be easy to do.
Yeah. So sorry for the typing noises, but
Sin does have
um,
the loudest keyboard in the East.
I do.
Oh, you're on the West
Well, I'm
Coast.
technically in the West, so
You're
in
on
the
the West
country,
Coast, yeah.
you can hear it from all the way across the coast, or across the country. But so you're going to type this code exactly once to be entered in the giveaway. More than once, it will get you disqualified. So please
Oh,
be.
you're so good at this. That's why I have you here. Like God, I forgot about it already, and then like I would. Oh,
Yes. So the code, all caps, one word, is roast me Edlin. That's gonna be our portfolio review giveaway. We're gonna be choosing three, so go ahead. Clickety click. Sorry guys. I'll get a better mic with noise suppression
I got a
eventually, I promise.
I got a question. Does this video, if we have a choice to archive it on the channel, or
Yeah, you can
uh
definitely archive it.
do they get the chat too?
Yeah, you get the chat. So if you want to get entered into the portfolio review giveaway,
Yeah, we'll
just
take
type
care of that.
into this chat, roast me Edlin, all caps, one word. Copy and paste it so I can put your name in the
I
chat.
love working at work. It's more fun sometimes than making it.
We'll probably do the giveaway in just a few minutes.
We'll figure
Maybe
that out.
like
Yeah,
at
and then
11:20. Give people time.
it could be anything. Like right, if you guys have links to your Instagram, if you have ArtStation or like a Google Drive, just send me a link to the work basically. But just make sure like let me know what your goals are, of course, and specific questions too about the work. Like let me know how you feel about it currently too. That'll help me help you if I know where we're at with it. It does look like ice, I guess. This is crazy. This is just like Blender doing nonsense on the shader, and I have like this is kind of the fun of painting it too. Is like, I have no idea what it's doing. You just sort it out. Big old ice walls. I stole that from Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert, but yeah, big ice wall. It's like Game of Thrones had it. I want it. And then yeah, I was just playing Returnal and Halo, so it's like we got to do a big alien citadel. Just steal shit.
Yeah.
Got to make it my own.
So, as we're giving away Cookie, we are giving away 3 portfolio reviews. On stream or like just through video. I guess both, I guess.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna do a
Um,
video, upload it, and I'll email them back the private link for that.
yeah, yeah. So,
It'll be all three will be on one video, so you guys can see each other's too.
mhm.
So
And
if you're
also,
super shy about that, then you might want to think about it. But yeah, it's not a
yeah,
big deal. It's like being in
and we'll be
class.
picking 3 additional winners for Tyler Edlund's Color and Light package, right?
Yeah, we'll do the
Or
composition one.
the composition one.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
the
still
composition.
am working
Okay,
on the color and light one. I was doing that
got
all year when I took time off from client work, and then the client work came in now. Like, I gotta finish the color and light course I started.
it.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
it's getting there. Yeah, this piece lacks atmosphere right now. That's the bigger problem with it. But atmosphere is easy to add in at the end if I don't want to detail something, or if I get most of these pieces blocked in, then I can be like, yeah, just paint clouds and light over everything you don't want to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solves. Just like there's enough of this that's just awkward right now. I'm trying to fix. So,
Yeah, preferably if you do get chosen, please send over like a website or a PDF or something. Just make it easy for Tyler to review. I think web would be best so that
yeah, web's always
the images
best.
paint over them, right?
Yeah.
So, so we'll wait 5 more minutes
They'll
and
probably
then
they'll probably be anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes long.
yeah. So there are gonna be 6 winners total, and so I think everyone has a pretty good shot of winning. Just don't forget to type in that code, and only once anyone wants to get you qualify. Yeah.
All right. Are you compiling that info now, and then we'll do it?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah, as they
So
come.
as soon
I'm
as
putting it in this wheel generator.
awesome.
Someone asked, I would pronounce your name, but it's in a completely different lettering system. That's not
Fair enough.
so. Can you please consider making an in-depth guide for setting up and managing Patreon or similar platforms? And I guess we talked about this earlier with the whole business thing, right?
Yeah.
So
What
what?
was the question, sir?
Can you please consider making an in-depth guide for setting up and managing Patreon and or similar functioning platforms for artists?
If I can make a guide video on that,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I barely know
Yeah.
how.
But you have such a successful Patreon page.
Yeah, I there's because there's so many like I feel like I really don't know. I set it up initially, right? Like I think a lot of people do, and there's so many models that you could choose. You could like I have the subscription one, and then people have by deliverable. What other options are there? I'm subscribed to a bunch. Sometimes like yeah, they just turn off billing. But I think if you're just making stuff, like Dave Raposa uses it extremely differently than I do. Like he just has like you sub and you get like prints or or like the PSDs for all my paintings and stuff. So I think if you just need to add value to whatever it is, I'm subscribed to this guy's Leo Averos, and he does some really cool Blender stuff, and they're inconsistent when they show, but yeah, he just like it's just like him, just he's like an angry Indonesian guy, and he just is like yelling at stuff, but also giving a little bit of tips with Blender. And it's like yeah, it's cool. I'm down for that. So I just figure out too like what you can add in terms of value to it, and I don't do many of the I guess I do PSDs on something longer, but yeah, just figure out what like your audience would potentially benefit the most from, I think, right? And you would just include that. And start off really slow, so make sure you can manage it, because like again, that's what I did too, because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was super nervous about it for the longest time. I actually had signed up with the Patreon a year before. I I actually made it public, but I was nervous about it and stuff, so I didn't touch it. So yeah, it's just one of those things. You gotta jump in like I did. Like for a while I just had so much anxiety just about streaming, and I didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are today. I got rid of my family to do this for a little while, and it wasn't bad at all, right? You just gotta like kind of jump in the deep end when and you'll sort it out. Like anything, like you get a new big client, like you get really nervous about it, but you learn as you go. You learn on the job. I think so much of things, right, is like learning on the job with this stuff. So because you have to kind of trial it. You have to see like, okay, I did this for this long, it didn't work. You evaluate it, right, and then you go back and reassess, like, okay, how could I do things right a little bit differently here and now. So it's just you need that initial experience, which just takes a little bit of the guts to go up, put yourself forward, right, and give it your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just try it. Be brave. Be brave. It's super hard, I know, for a lot of us creators. I don't know why I get so nervous about doing anything creative like that. That's why I didn't talk about business a lot on my channel. It's like, I'm going to say something that's it's just going to, or my math is going to be so off. And I avoided it forever, but, I just, shut up and, you take your notes. You're like, okay, I got to say this. I got to present it like this. And it's the only way to move forward, right? You have to train yourself to be, what is it? Comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because like a lot of us get uncomfortable with stuff, and it's easier to not do the thing, right? But yeah, you just get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's really the secret right there. And like even people making YouTubes, they're like, I have to get on the camera or video, and it's like I can't stand listening to myself. It's like, okay, but you just do it once, twice, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad maybe the 10th time, but you start to figure it out. But just more importantly, you start to get more comfortable. You just got to try though. Otherwise, you'll never know. And right, that they said like you won't in 20 years you won't regret the things you did wrong. Now you'll regret the things you didn't try. So that's all there is. There is to it. Oh, this is weird. A lot of weird stuff going on.
I'm just waiting for the results right now, by the way.
Awesome. Guys, are there any specific topics you want to see covered on the channel coming up? Because I'm always like fishing for ideas on that. Like, what do you guys want me to talk about? I'll talk about it. I don't give a damn. I'll talk about it. Because like I get so busy on the day to day. I want to make a video, but it's like I have no idea what to say, or not that. It's like I don't know what topic to pick. So if the community wants to anytime help me up, just shoot me recommendations. Then I'll have to think a little less about that, and I'll just put the mic on and ramble like I did today. What is this color? What did this 3D blender, you sinner? What are you doing to me? Look at all this weird fugliness. It's slightly transparent, I guess.
All right, so I have the winners for
Woo!
the.
I need a soundboard. Ding ding. I'm just gonna get that.
Ding, 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 ding,
If I ever do it regular, I have to get the actual stream deck going.
Yeah, we have the winners for the composition pack. And so they are. Can everybody give me a drum roll, please? We have Kripolovsky for the composition pack.
Awesome.
Logio, I'm sorry, and Ninad Nasabek. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce any of these names correctly, but those are our winners for the composition, and I am now spinning for the portfolio review, so we'll see. So how do you want them to contact you to give
Probably, yeah, just because I'll expect the three. Probably email, right? Or is probably the best way to say, hey, I was in the stream. I am this person.
Yeah.
We can
Email or Instagram, I guess.
Any platform. Just say, hey, I was here. I was I was this person. Sin chose me,
Yeah.
or the randomizer did. So, and I'll hook you up with that. Hopefully by the end of today, because I just have to get the link and I can provide it to you guys.
Yeah. So spin. Hope everyone's really nervous right now, because I am too. All right. So we have our winners for the portfolio review. So if you are chosen for this portfolio review, please email Tyler Edlin your portfolio link, preferably in web format or anything that's like easily downloadable or screenshotable, so he can paint over. You'll be sent a private video link to view your feedback video. So
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So our winners will be Felix. Congratulations. Karex. Sorry, I can't really pronounce it that well. And Manik Sharma. Yay!
It's
Congratulations!
awesome, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Schedule. No rush on your end. Like I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it this weekend. Like I said within a week or so. So just because yeah, this is the last week of the term for CGMA, so I gotta wrap that stuff up, and then I'll be free to definitely jump on that for everybody.
Yeah,
That'll be cool.
yeah. So the first three people I named, Kriplovsky,
So
sorry.
I should be getting 6 emails total, right? Three for the
Yeah,
okay, three and three.
yeah. So
All right, great.
Kriplovsky, Lagio, and Anad, you want the video pack for composition. So just email Tyler Ellen saying you're this person for the stream, and we'll hand you that.
For the
And
composition.
Felix, Karex, and Manik Sharma, you guys are the portfolio review winners. So go ahead and
Awesome.
yeah. Woo! And thank you everyone for
Yeah, thank
joining
you.
in on the giveaway. We'll definitely do more as we do more
Yes.
streams in the
Yeah,
future.
we're gonna wrap
So
up.
getting at this time, hopefully next time.
Yeah, hopefully
Congratulations.
we'll do this a bunch more, and hopefully I'll get this project done at some point. I'm just from here. I gotta finish getting the ice a little structure, and then figure out if I want to do little huts and structures in the yellow grassy areas, make it look a little more like grass, and then
Mhm.
paint. Basically, I'm gonna just do the lighting on this because this really doesn't have much lighting in it at all
Yeah.
right now. But it's kind of good for that too because it's very generalized. So that way, like I can pick probably using a layer like this, what direction, like is it the reds, is it like the blue, like, and I can blast a little bit of direct lighting on there, um, and should wrap it up on there. Just you could put like if you wanted photo real stuff, you could just drop a lot of photos into that. But I'm having fun kind of painting it in. Then I gotta add all the gold, the little bits on here. I gotta add onto the building. Which see this a layer like this will give me the ability to like if this piece is gold or like this is gold. See I can get in there, select it like that, right? Oh, and then just color pick because I didn't know how to set up the gold in Blender. I didn't want to. I got my guy doing it right now, which won't be ready till next week. But yeah, I can just color pick this, do it the old school way of just. Oh, I see. Look at that. I'm already making my own layer structures up, but I could paint this essentially gold and then just like light that, so it matches the design a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then just use the cloud brushes, blast in a lot of extra atmosphere to create some depth overall. But thank you everybody for coming today and have a great safe weekend. Hope everybody well. You want me? I'll type it right into the. It says I have to sign in the chat. I put it on screen. That's easy enough.
Yeah. I'll also put in the chat. It's Tyler at tyleredlin.art
Yeah,
or art.
yeah. Or you could use one of the submission forums on the Brush Sauce Academy site too. That also works. It'll get directly to me. But if you're going this way, it's switching to hot pink here. Tyler at
I will send everybody to oh yeah. Here you go. I got you guys the email. Don't worry guys.
that one.
Yes, right here. So please email Tyler here. Yay! Yeah, on his webpage. And we do have some video topics. I will send
You'll
to you
compile.
video.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hedler and Ramik had some video ideas. I will put in our little chat for you.
Yeah, it'll go. Yuki, it'll go up on the channel, or at least it should. So you can catch. We had a lot of great questions that came through. I didn't do much painting. I just been noodling out ice and grassy shards, but we had some good talks. So there was really great questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Yep. Thank you guys. We'll catch you next
Yeah.
time.